Hello everyone and welcome back to STW Sports, and today I'm going to be reviewing the EFL weekend from February 26th until February the 28th. Getting towards the end of the season now, some very interesting results at the weekend as well. So we start with the Championship on February the 26th. We had Derby County 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Yes, Wayne Rooney's first East Midlands derby and Chris Hughton's first East Midlands derby for that matter. Ended in a 1-1 draw. The game was okay. I mean, a draw was probably a fair result. Nottingham Forest led until the 84th minute and Colin Kazim-Richards scored an equaliser. I think both teams will be, not too disappointed. I think these two can be considered the underachievers in the Championship this season. I expected a lot more at the start of the season from both Derby and Forest, and even though they have both picked up, they've still not had great seasons by their standards, really. And 1-1 draw here. Like I say, it was a fair result. And it would have been great for Wayne Rooney to get a win in his first East Midlands derby, but they settled for a draw. Saturday, the 27th of February, we started with a 1-0 win for AFC Bournemouth against Watford. Big result for Bournemouth, this one. They've not been in great form recently. Very interested the fact they've hired Jonathan Woodgate for the rest of the season. He didn't do great at Middlesbrough, so it makes me interested to think they have hired him. I mean, I know that wasn't before this game, that was a few games ago, but hey, this is a great win for them. And Watford, while their away form hasn't been great this season, this was a disappointing result for them, but they're still in a good position though, Watford, and I'm still pretty sure they'll get the playoffs. As for Bournemouth, they just need to carry on winning as many games as they can for the playoffs. I don't think they'll go up automatically, but they've certainly got a good chance for the playoffs. Blackburn Rovers 1, Coventry City 1. Blackburn Rovers' form has really dipped recently. I mean, they 6 without a win now. That's not looking good for them at the moment. I mean, I don't know. I'm one of them people who I don't really think Tony Mowbray has done a bad job at Blackburn, but it's getting to the point now where Blackburn have just become Championship mid-table regulars, and it's really not where Blackburn need to be. They need to be pushing for promotion. Blackburn have won the Premier League in the past at the end of the day. I know they're not the same team now, but a 1-1 draw at home to Coventry. It's a better result for Coventry, if I'm being honest. I think they'll be the happier at the 2 away from home especially, and it pulls them that little bit further away from relegation as well. So, not a bad result for them. But as for Blackburn, their form's really dipped, and I don't see them getting playoffs right now unless something changes. Rotherham United 0, Reading 1. Good result for Reading this, considering Rotherham's recent form, especially at home. I think that, Rotherham's a tough place to go. Not many teams always do great there, really, but Reading got a 1-0 win here. It wasn't a great game, and again, Rotherham, they're in the relegation zone, and right now they're in big trouble, so they could have done with winning this, but Reading have had a great season, so fair play to them. Another win as they continue they're in the playoffs, so they continue to look to stay in the playoffs. Preston North End 3, Huddersfield Town 0. Great result for Preston, but Huddersfield are having a strange time of it right now. They just, they go and beat Swansea 4-1 last week, and then they go and lose 3-0 here to Preston. They're a strange team, Huddersfield, it's fair to say, but it was a convincing win for Preston, though. They were very, very good, and Preston on their day are very good. It's just their day, unfortunately, isn't often enough, I guess you can say. But fair play to them on this occasion. 3-0 win, very good. Barnsley 2, Millwall 1. Speaking of form, Barnsley are on fire right now. Valérien Ismaël, for me, could be manager of the season. If he gets Barnsley promoted, he is manager of the season, I think, end of story. But he's done fantastic since coming in, and they had a bit of a dip, Barnsley, before their FA Cup game against Chelsea, but it's almost like that performance against Chelsea has elevated this team to a different level. Fantastic. I mean, 5 wins in a row, the 1 point off the playoffs with a game in hand. I can't believe it. Barnsley are doing fantastic, and fair play to Ismaël. I thought Barnsley were getting relegated, but hey, that's the Championship for you. It can spring up some surprises. Swansea City 1, Bristol City 3. Nigel Pearson's first game in charge, and what a win it was for Bristol City. Unfortunate about Dean Holden. It didn't work out for him. I mean, he got sacked quite recently. Swansea, though, Nigel Pearson's a really good appointment for Bristol. A very good appointment. Away from home Swansea, your first game, a 3-1 win. I think Pearson's a pretty good manager, so I mean, he's had his bad jobs in his career, but he's also had some very, very good ones. And no, fair play to him on this occasion, a really good win. But Swansea all of a sudden are showing some cracks at the wrong time of the season, so that certainly needs addressing from their point of view. Next up, we had Luton Town 3, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Sheffield Wednesday were 2-0 up at half-time in this game and on their course for a great win. But no, Luton Town come back and win 3-2. I really do admire Luton Town, for what they do. and for how they play. It really is. They're such a spirited team, and Nathan Jones has really installed that into the players. And to be 2-0 down at half-time, most teams would have just folded. But Sheffield Wednesday, though, they're in big trouble as well right now. It's getting to the point where I just don't see them staying up at the moment. But yeah, they have just appointed Darren Moore, in fact, recently, which is a weird appointment considering he's doing really well in League One with Doncaster. And all of a sudden weird appointment. But fair enough, though, fair play. And yeah, but they lost on this occasion, a very disappointing defeat. Brentford 2, Stoke City 1. Massive win for Brentford. 1-0 down after, I think it was in the first minute of the game. And yeah, they come back and win 2-1. And Ivan Toney is a pure goal machine. He got the winner in the game. Fair play to him. What a result, as I said, for Brentford. Well, say what a result. You kind of expect Brentford to win this, but with their recent form, you can never really be sure. But yeah, a 2-1 win. They're back up to second. And yeah, good result for them, considering Swansea lost as well. And Watford, the two teams close to them, even better. Birmingham City 2, Green Spot Rangers 1, nearly skipped there. Yes, Birmingham City 2, QPR 1. I mean, full credit to Birmingham here. They were 1-0 down till late on in the game, but 2 late goals turned it around for them. Full credit to Birmingham. QPR have been in very good form. Charlie Austin scored again just before half-time. And all of a sudden, yeah, Birmingham come from behind and gain a 2-1 win. Very good stuff from Birmingham, and a result they very much needed because they've been in big trouble, and all of a sudden they could be possibly starting to turn it round. Even if they do stay up, I don't think Ita Karanka will be there next season, though. I do think they'll have someone else, but yeah, right now, though, this is a very important result. Middlesbrough 1, Cardiff City 1. Yes, Neil Warnock has stopped his old club's winning run for now. A 1-1 draw. It was a fair result, I guess. I mean, I think this game's felt like a fair result on the day, and it wasn't really the best game, but Middlesbrough have not been on the best home form recently, so a 1-1 draw with an informed Cardiff probably isn't the worst, but no, Cardiff are still doing very well at the moment, and Mick McCarthy remains unbeaten as Cardiff manager. Sunday the 28th of February, it was Wycombe Wanderers versus Norwich City, top versus bottom. And yes, Norwich City won 2-0. Sorry to build you up there for a disappointment, but yeah, Norwich City won 2-0, and it was a fairly comfortable win. Wycombe have got plenty of spirit about them. We all know this. Wycombe, very good, very spirited, but in the end, Norwich came out 2-0 winners, and Norwich's destination right now is the Premier League. They're doing very well, and I really can't see them not going up from here. And game of the weekend, I've gone Luton Town 3, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Great comeback and a very all-round entertaining game. Result of the weekend, I've gone Birmingham City 2, QPR 1. For significance, really, I think Birmingham could look back on this result, those couple of minutes at the end of the season, and think they're the moments that kept us in the division. It's very, very important. And top scorer is Ivan Toney, who now has 25 goals. He's on a roll right now. He's been on a roll all season. League One, starting all the games on Saturday the 27th of February, and we started with Charlton Athletic 0, Blackpool 3. I mean, I don't really know what's happened at Charlton recently. They were doing quite well, and all of a sudden they've just gone to, they're not doing well. But no, Blackpool, they're currently sitting comfortably in mid-table, not really doing much in playoffs push, and they're not really doing any relegation, so yeah, 3-0, fair play to Blackpool. They played really well. But as for Charlton, though, I don't know what happened here. Very poor result. And their recent form has just been quite poor, Charlton. They really need to pick themselves up. Fleetwood Town 1, Accrington Stanley 1. Yeah, fair play to both teams. 1-1 draw. I think Accrington will probably be disappointed with their playoff push. But Fleetwood, obviously they've got rid of a manager and everything, so they're in a bit of a transition at the moment. But yeah, it was a fair draw. Ipswich Town 2, Doncaster Rovers 1. The last game of the Paul Lambert era, because Paul Lambert he left, got sacked, whatever happened in the week. But yeah, 2-1 win for Ipswich. The last game of Darren Moore and Paul Lambert, actually. So yeah, quite an eventful game, actually, at Portman Road in that sense. But yeah, a 2-1 win for Ipswich. Fair play to them. They did well enough, and they're edging close towards the playoffs. But now they've got a new manager in Paul Warne, so interesting to see how he gets on. AFC Wimbledon 0, Hull City 3. Yeah, easy win for Hull this one. Not really much to say. Hull just eased past Wimbledon here. So yeah, Plymouth Argyle 4, Lincoln City 3. Probably one of the best games in League One all season. Never mind of the weekend. Absolute thriller at Home Park. 7 goals. Plymouth won it in the last minute as well. Absolutely fantastic game. Look, Plymouth's a very tough place to go. I mean, their away form's not been great, Plymouth, but they've made their home ground, even without the fans, a very tough place to go. And Lincoln found that out here. Lincoln are on a bit of a rocky patch right now. Maybe at the bad time for them because they've done so well all season. But yeah, 4-3 to Plymouth, a good result for them. But as for Lincoln, one that could be quite damaging. Bristol Rovers 2, Shrewsbury Town 1. And Joey Barton earns his first win as Bristol Rovers manager. Quite interested that Joey Barton's at Bristol Rovers all of a sudden. I mean, obviously we know Joey Barton's huge character, very interesting person on the whole. But yeah, 2-1 win here over Shrewsbury. Bristol Rovers need the wins right now, and yeah, this was a very important one. Crewe Alexandra 2, Sunderland 2. Yes, Sunderland really had to dig deep to get a result here. They were 2-0 down. Sunderland were having a pure off day. Crewe have had a very good season, especially at home. Their home form's been superb. But yeah, Sunderland were 2-0 down. And all of a sudden, you know, they come back at the end and got 2 goals and got a draw out of it. And Charlie White's had a fantastic season, as we all know, at Sunderland. They've always got a chance when he's in the team. But yeah, 2-2. It was a fair result. Portsmouth 1, Gillingham 1. Yeah, I mean, like I'm not going to say anything about Gillingham being inconsistent, I promise. I always mention it on this, but this is a draw on this occasion. And Gillingham never draw. They always win or lose, so it's fair enough. But again, Portsmouth could probably have done with winning this with their playoff push, and surely this has got to be the year Portsmouth go up. I'm thinking of surely. I had them to go up by the playoffs, and they've been close on so many occasions in the last few years. Well, 2 semi-finals in a row in the playoffs, so surely this has got to be the year. But yeah, 1-1 draw here. MK Dons 1, Oxford United 1. A last-minute equaliser from Oxford in this one as well. A lot of late goals in League One at the weekend. It was great. So many late goals. And Oxford could probably have done with a win here, but MK Dons have very much improved throughout the season. So a 1-1 draw was, quite fair in the end, I think, in this game. Peterborough United 2, Wigan Athletic 1. Peterborough were 1-0 down for quite a while in this game, but 2 goals by, of course, the hero, Clark Harris, got them a win. One of them was a penalty as well. Peterborough very much needed this win, to be fair, against a team who were down there. Wigan, they're still, with the relegation battle superb in League One, and so is the promotion battle, so it's best of both worlds, really. And Peterborough here, it's a really good win for them, to be honest. One that you probably expect, given where they are on the table and to compare to Wigan, but yeah, 2-1. Rochdale 0, Burton Albion 2. Wow, what a job Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank has done. I was convinced Burton Albion were dead and buried, but one thing I'll say about Burton Albion is they've got They've just got fantastic spirit around the team. I mean, for Burton Albion to be where they are and maintain that as well for a while, Championship League One sort of level, it's quite something. So I do give them tremendous credit. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank's come in, a team in crisis, and he's done fantastic. And yeah, Burton Albion right now could stay up, believe it or not. But yeah, a 2-0 win against Rochdale. I mean, yeah, it's fun. They moved off the bottom of the table for the first time since very early on in the season as well. So yeah, full credit to Burton here, and fair play to Hasselbank for the job he's doing there at the moment. I mean, he's been there before, obviously, but he's back there now, and he's doing brilliant. Swindon Town 2, Northampton Town 1. When it comes to big results, this could be one of the biggest of Swindon's season. Swindon came up last season, and they have rather struggled. I mean, at times, it's been difficult for them. They're not really coped as well as the likes of Crewe and Plymouth, who came up with them. But these two teams were both in League 2 last season, don't forget. And it's a great 2-1 win here. They're 1-0 down as well, Swindon. But no, fair play to them. It's a great result. 2-1. And yeah, I mean, relegation 6-pointer. What a win. And game of the weekend, of course, Plymouth 4, Lincoln 3. One of the best games in League One all season, if not the best. Rochdale 0, Burton Albion 2. Yeah, I'd say this one probably was the result, because Burton Albion, I could have gone with Swindon Northampton, but I'm going to go with this one because it could be significant for Burton, but more importantly, it's lifted them off the bottom of the table. And yeah, it's a massive win. And next up, we have the top scorer, who is Johnson Clark Harris, with 21 goals. What a season he's having. But Charlie White is in hot pursuit of him as well, though. Now we move on to League 2. And again, all the games were played on Saturday, the 27th of February. We started with Crawley Town 2, Exeter 0. It was a 10-man Exeter because they had a man sent off in this game. Yeah, fair play to Crawley. 2-0 win. It was a relatively routine win. As soon as Exeter went down to 10 men, Crawley kind of dominated, and yeah, they got a 2-0, so fair play to them. Newport County 0, Stevenage 0. This was a bit of a boring game, to be honest. I don't really think anything. Rodney Parade, I don't really think anything of note truly happened. But Stevenage have a bit of a tendency right now of getting away draws and victories, and which isn't too bad for them. So yeah, this isn't a bad result here. But Newport's form just hasn't been great recently. Harrogate Town 1, Grimsby Town 0. It's looking very much like Grimsby Town might be a conference team again next year. They're not doing great. And Harrogate Town, though, hats off to them. They had a bit of a mid-season dip, Harrogate, where I really thought these could be dragged into a relegation battle. They're now, I think they're about 5 points off the playoffs. I don't think they'll get the playoffs, but their form's been brilliant. And a 1-0 win here against Grimsby. So yeah, fair play to them, and it was a good win. Leighton Orient 1, Tranmere Rovers 3. Yeah, Tranmere dominated this game. They were 3-0 up. It was an easy win, really, for Tranmere. I mean, as for, Tranmere winning the league, that could happen now. They're only a few points off, so maybe my prediction will be right after all. But yeah, no, I still fancy Tranmere, though, to make a push back up to League One. So, yeah, they're doing well, and this was a very good win for them here. Away a tough Leighton Orient team. Mansfield Town 1, Morecambe 0. Yeah, brilliant for Mansfield. They did really well. 1-0. Their form's been pretty poor recently, so their first home win since early January. So one they definitely needed. It was a fair win, I guess. Morecambe have been pushing for the playoffs very unexpectedly this season. They've been in the playoffs a lot, but yeah, they fell to a 1-0 defeat here. Southend United 0, Salford City 0. This game was pretty boring, to be honest with you. Again, nothing to really report on, bar the fact it was a very dull game. Scunthorpe United 0, Cheltenham Town 2. Cheltenham are coming up now, and I'm not going to say that too early, but Cheltenham are looking good right now. 2-0 win here away at Scunthorpe. Not the easiest place to go, Scunthorpe. They do have some, tough ground to go to, so fair play to Cheltenham, right? Cheltenham, 2-0 win, and they're looking very good at the moment as well. Carlisle United 1, Oldham Athletic 3. I mean, I've got a feeling all these breaks Carlisle have been having hasn't done them any good. Carlisle were doing very well. All of a sudden, they've had a few games suspended, and now they're just struggling a little bit. And yeah, they lost 3-1 here against Oldham at home. Oldham do well away at the top teams, I guess you can say, in League 2. And yeah, this is another point proven here. 3-1 win, but Carlisle are going for a bit of a rough patch right now, and their home form's been so good all season. But yeah, fair play though to Oldham. It's a good result for Harry Kewell's men. Bolton Wanderers 1, Barrow 0. Bolton Wanderers are in the playoffs. Where has this come from? We go on about wins can elevate teams, but Bolton, they were 19th a few weeks ago and pretty much only about 8 points above relegation. I was thinking Bolton could be in the National League if it goes wrong, but all of a sudden they're the form team in League 2 along with another one I'll get into in a minute. Fantastic. I mean, what a turnaround at Bolton it's been. And I did always say at the beginning, Bolton, it'll take too long for them to click, and by the time they do, it'll be too late. Not been the case at all. Bolton, they've clicked, and all of a sudden they're in the playoffs. So yeah, fair play to them, and I'd love to see Bolton go back up. Whether they do or not's a different question. Hey, they've still got to earn it, so there's no, and they've still got problems in the team as well. They're still not the finished article, so still a long way to go. Walsall 1, Bradford City 2. I mean, speaking of form teams, Bradford City can't stop winning right now, and fair play to them. Mark Trueman and Connor Sellers have been appointed on a permanent basis, of course. That announcement was made last week. Yeah, fair play to Bradford, very encouraging, and a 2-1 win here against a tricky Walsall team who had Bradford under a lot of pressure for a lot of the game as well, so fair play to Bradford. Port Vale 0, Cambridge United 1. Massive result for Cambridge this. Port Vale's not an easy place to go, and Cambridge got there in the end, 1-0 win. It wasn't an easy game, but it was a late win as well, so a very good one, which Cambridge could look back on as one of the big moments. Forest Green 3, Colchester United 0. I mean, considering this was a 10-man Forest Green for a lot of the game, it's quite embarrassing, really, if you're Colchester. But I don't know what's happened at Colchester United though. They beat Tottenham in the League Cup last season. I mean, and that was nearly 2 years ago now, technically. But yeah, whatever's happened there, it's not really been great. But no, fair play though to Forest Green. Though they're looking good, and they're another team who could very well go up at the moment. Game of the weekend, not really a lot. I've gone for the 3-1 win for Oldham against Carlisle. There wasn't many great games in League 2, but all three of Oldham's goals were scored in the last 20 minutes, which is always quite good. And then result of the weekend, I've gone Port Vale 0, Cambridge 1, simply because how big this result could be for the end of the season for Cambridge. And the top scorer is Paul Mullin that I've gone for. It is Paul Mullin with 22. So yes, That is a wrap on my EFL reviews from February 26th until February the 28th. Thank you very much for listening, everyone. We're now in the business end of the season. Very exciting stuff. I can't wait to see how the playoffs end up shaping up, and I love it in the EFL this week because so many twists and turns can happen. I mean, Bolton all of a sudden are in the playoffs. Burton Albion are looking at escaping relegation. It's amazing to watch. I absolutely love it. But yes, thank you very much for listening, everyone. Please like, share and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Thank you.